Good morning. We are continuing the lesson. Physiology and sports. And the topic we are studying, this is the effect of exercises on various systems. So cardiovascular system we are discussing now. In previous video we have studied about the immediate effect or short term effect of exercise on cardiovascular system. So just I am revising them. Then we will come to the long term effect of the exercises on cardiovascular system. So short term effect were there. What were the short term effect we have discussed? Increase in heart rate, increase in stroke volume, increase in cardiac output, which is immediately we can see the result, increase in blood flow, increase in blood pressure, increase in body temperature. So these were the short term effect of the exercise on cardiovascular system. Now we will study about the long term effect. The long term effect of exercise on cardiovascular system. So first one is increase in the size of heart. This is also known as the hypertrophy of heart. What is the known, what we say? When the heart increases in size, so it is known as the hypertrophy of heart. So muscles of the heart increases in size and strength. The left ventricle adapts to the greatest extent, and heart walls grow stronger and thicker. So left ventricle, this is pumping out the blood from the heart to the different parts of the body. So this increases in size, so then the heart is able to pump maximum blood to the different parts of the body, that is oxygenated blood, and heart walls grow stronger and thicker. So this is long term effect which we cannot see immediately within a few days. When we are performing exercise for longer time, continuously, regularly we are performing exercise, so these effects can be seen in long term. So long term effect of exercise on cardiovascular system, first one is increase in the size of heart. Next is decrease in resting heart rate. Resting heart rates are very important while we are checking the health status of the individual. So regular exercise decreases the resting heart rate. Resting heart rate 72 beats per minute can go down to 30 to 40 beats per minute in highly conditioned athlete. When we do any exercise, I am telling you about the decrease in heart rate, resting heart rate. So when we do any exercise, so heart rate increases immediately, that we have studied in previous video in short term effect of the exercise. So heart rate are increasing. So when we are stopping the activity, when body is coming to the rest, so definitely the heart rate should come down. So resting heart rate are normally 72 beats per minute, but after the exercise they go more down when the person are doing conditioning exercises, cooling down exercises. So this heart, the resting heart rates when comes down, so that increase the recovery rate. So resting heart rate should be low. So that's why in case of the athletic activities, I am telling you, whenever we are doing any sports activities or physical activities, after that the resting heart rate should come down quickly. So exercise helps to decrease in resting heart rate. Stroke volume increases at rest. Stroke volume should be more, as we have discussed. Stroke volume, that is the blood is pumped out by the heart in one beat, it should be increased. In an untrained individual, stroke volume at rest is 50 to 70 ml per beat, which increases 70 to 90 ml per beat. And expert advise that in healthy person or healthy athlete, the heart rate must be resting stroke volume at the rest must be 100 to 110 ml per beat. So this is in an untrained individual, stroke volume at rest is 50 to 70 ml per beat, which increases to 70 to 90 ml per beat as an effect of regular exercise. It can be increased more up to 110 also. So stroke volume, when it is increasing, so it is the amount of blood pumped out by the heart to the different part of the body in one beat. So multiplied by the total number of beat in 1 minute, so maximum blood will be supplied to the body. So that is the benefit of increasing the stroke volume. The cardiovascular system, we can see, in which the heart is receiving the blood and it is sending to the lungs, and then again the heart is receiving the blood, oxygenated blood, and again it is supplying to the different parts of the body. So in blue color we will see that is the non-oxygenated blood. It is coming to the heart and going out from the heart to the lungs for oxygenation. Then after oxygenation, the red color blood is coming out to the heart again by oxygenation from the lungs. Then heart is receiving again this blood, oxygenated blood, and then pumping out to the different parts of the body. So the cardiovascular system, this is joint working of the heart and lungs, circulatory system and respiratory system. Another long-term effect of the exercise on cardiovascular system is increased blood flow. To supply the muscles with extra oxygen during exercise, the body increases its number of capillaries. Existing capillaries open wider, the blood redistribution more efficient and effective. So capillaries, then I would like to tell you, capillaries are the smallest structure to supply the blood to the different organ, different parts of the body. To smallest structure, smallest unit of the body, the capillaries supply the blood. And capillaries are formed again and again. They are broken down, they again reformed. So number of capillaries should be more, because muscle structure is also very minute structure. One muscle fiber is the microscopic structure. So in the muscle fiber, the capillaries are there to supply the blood. So these capillaries should be more in number to supply maximum blood to the muscles. So to supply the muscles with extra oxygen during exercise and oxygenated blood during exercise, the body increases its number of capillaries to increase the blood flow. Number of capillaries increases due to exercise, and existing capillaries open wider. Already the capillaries are there, so they become wider. So that helps in the blood redistribution more efficient and effectively. So I think capillaries is clear to all of you, because capillaries are the smallest structure to distribute the blood to the smallest unit or smallest part of the body, smallest structure of the body, like the cell. I am telling you, the muscle cell, where the muscle fiber is very small microscopic structure. Another one benefit is of the effect of exercise: decreases in blood pressure. Decrease in blood pressure by up to 10 mm per g at rest. To blood pressure also decreases. Increase in blood volume. Increases the blood volume due to increase in plasma volume. Blood is made up of plasma and blood cells. So plasma is the living fluid. In this fluid, the blood cells can survive. So this plasma is increased. So blood volume is increased, because maximum part of the blood is plasma. So increase in plasma volume, blood volume will be increased. Body produce more RBCs to supply extra oxygen to the muscle during intensive exercises. So when the plasma will be more, volume of plasma will be increased, so definitely the cells will be increased, red RBCs will be increased. So the blood volume, which is in blood, plasma is there and blood cells are there. So RBCs, WBCs and other blood cells. So then definitely when the plasma is increasing, so blood cells will be increased. So this will help to increase the blood volume. Another effect we can see of the exercise in the cardiovascular system: increase in cardiac output. Cardiac output is stroke volume into heart rate that we have discussed. So stroke volume is the blood pump out by the heart in one beat, and heart rate is, we know normal heart rate are 72. So cardiac output we can calculate by this formula: stroke volume into heart rate, where stroke volume is the amount of blood pump out by the heart to the different body parts in one heartbeat. Quicker recovery rate. So quickly the recovery rate, the rate of respiration also becomes normal quickly. Recovery rate is increased. Rate of respiration also becomes normal quickly while we are doing exercise. So the respiratory rate also increased, and after leaving the exercise, after quitting the exercise, so the respiration also should come to the normal quickly. So that is helps in the quick recovery. Quick recovery means like recovery of various things, like energy molecules. When we are inhaling, when the normal respiratory rates will be there, so we will inhale more oxygen, and that will help to produce more energy and quickly the mitochondria will be again refilled. The energy stores will be refilled. So any form of recovery will take place quickly when the respiration will become normal and recovery rates will be quicker. Another is reduced risk of heart diseases. Another effect of exercise in the cardiovascular system, that is reduce risk of heart disease, reduce stress related hormones from circulating in the blood. So the stress related hormones are when circulated in the blood, so stress is increased, so it helps to reduce the stress hormones and its circulation. In the turn, lower the risk of buildup of plaque in the blood vessels. Plaque is, that is the uh, empty space in the blood vessels. We can say it is the bubble which can create problem in the circulation of the blood. So it is caused by the most often it is caused by the stress hormones. There are other factors also building up the plaque in the blood vessels. So mostly it is stress hormones. So stress hormones will be reduced. So there are the chances of heart disease will be reduced. Risk of heart disease will be reduced. Next we will come to the effect of exercises on respiratory system. So see the respiratory system. Effect of exercise on the respiratory system: decreases in rate of respiration. Respiration rate should be decreased when we are the higher rate of respiration decrease the inhalation amount of air and exhalation amount. The amount which we are exhaling, what we are inhaling, will be increased where there are rate of respiration are lower, because we can inhale long inhalation, long exhalation will be takes place. When the respirations are lower. So in healthy persons always the respiratory rate of respirations are lower. During the illness the respiratory rate increases and the amount of air which we are inhaling is decreased, is also decreased. So decrease in rate of respiration means breathing rates. Strength diaphragm and muscles. So diaphragm is the muscles of the respiratory system and respiratory muscles, so they become stronger. So diaphragm muscles are there which helps the rib cage pushing upward and pushing forward. So during the breathing, inhalation and exhalation, when we are inhaling, so the diaphragm goes down and the rib cage pushed upward. When we are exhaling, the diaphragm comes upward and rib cage comes downwards. So this way the diaphragm should be more stronger. These are the specialized muscles of the respiratory system, so they become strong. Avoid second wind. Second wind is the known as when we reach at the peak of any activity, so that time we get an alert of tiredness to quit the activity. So that time if we are continuing the ability of continuing the activity for certain time duration known as second wind. That phase is known as second wind when the alert of tiredness arises in the mind when any activity on the peak. So second wind is avoided. Second situation of second wind should not be there, because second wind creates the disturbance by sending message of tiredness to the brain. So second wind should be avoided, and it will be avoided by the exercise. Unused alveoli becomes active. Alveoli is where the mixing of oxygen with the blood takes place. So maximum alveoli remains blocked because we are not making them active. These are only activated when we are doing exercises. So unused alveoli becomes active. Increase in endurance. Endurance will be increased. Endurance we have discussed in previous videos, previous slides. So the ability to sustain the activity for longer duration is endurance. It will be increased. We can see the respiratory system from nasal cavity, trachea, lungs, pharynx, larynx, bronchioles, alveoli, diaphragm, trachea, lungs and bronchi. So this is the structure of the respiratory system. So these are the smallest structure we can see. The alveoli are there, where the mixing of oxygen with the blood takes place, and diffusion of carbon dioxide in the lungs takes place. Oxygen is mixed with the blood into the hemoglobin to make oxyhemoglobin, and carbon dioxide is diffused into the lungs from the blood at the alveoli. So alveoli is the very important place, very important part of the, very significant part of the respiratory system. So this is the diagram we can see. More effect of exercises are there. Increase in residual air volume. Residual air volume which remains in our lungs, that amount of air which remains in our lung for further mixing of oxygen to the blood. Increase in the size of the lungs and chest. Tidal volume increases. Increases in vital air capacity. Tidal volume also we have discussed. Vital capacity we have discussed. So tidal volume is, that is amount of air in normal inhalation. The amount of air we inhale or exhale in normal breathing. Increase in vital capacity. Vital capacity is the amount of forceful inhalation or exhalation. Amount of air inhaled forcefully after a forceful exhalation. So this is, we can see increases in residual air volumes, increase in the size of lungs and chest. When lung size will be increased, so definitely the lungs will inhale maximum amount of air. They will contain maximum amount of air. That's why the increase in chest takes place. Chest size increased. Tidal volume increased. We have discussed. Vital capacity increased. So these are the effect of the exercise on respiratory system. Now we will discuss the effect of exercise on muscular system in the next video.